Good afternoon. We're holding a press conference today to update on the shooting of one of our officers. Today we're going to start with a statement from the mayor, then Chief Bleimeister will speak, and Sheriff Wagner will speak after that. We will be open to questions after all the statements have been given, and we can just specify who those questions need to go to. As always, we will be providing the video of the press conference today afterwards for all of you, as well as a live feed on LNK TV right now. And with that, Mayor.
Thank you, Officer Spilker. First, I want to say that our hearts are with the investigator who was shot yesterday and with his family right now. Our entire community is with him, sending him strength, support, and wishes for health and healing. Events like what happened yesterday are frightening. They are a reminder that our community is not immune to violent crime. Fortunately, we have a dedicated team of professionals at the Lincoln Police Department whose mission it is to serve and protect us. Yesterday was a stark reminder of just how dangerous their jobs can be. They put their lives on the line to keep us safe, and our grateful community stands behind them. To our men and women in blue and the families who support them, thank you for your continued sacrifice and service and bravery. We appreciate you.
So yesterday, around 11:34 in the morning, the Metro Fugitive Task Force, the Lincoln Police Department gang unit, and Lincoln Police Department investigators were searching for 17-year-old Felipe Vasquez in the 3200 block of Vine Street. Investigators were attempting to apprehend Vasquez for an outstanding arrest warrant for second-degree assault related to the murder of Edward Varica that occurred in March of this year. As investigators were attempting to contact individuals inside the residence, a suspect shot investigator Mario Herrera in the torso. Mario has undergone multiple surgeries and is still fighting for his life. He is listed in critical condition. Mario is a 23-year veteran of the Lincoln Police Department, and he's currently assigned to the Criminal Investigations Unit. Our department, our community, stands with Mario, and our thoughts and prayers are with him, his family, and his friends. Mario's family has told us that he has received numerous blood transfusions, and we are asking those who want to help to donate blood. As is the standard protocol for the Lincoln Police Department gang investigator Cole Jennings has been placed on administrative leave due to his involvement in yesterday's events. During the incident, Investigator Jennings returned fire after Mario was shot. Investigator Jennings is an 11-year veteran of the Lincoln Police Department. And to explain the purpose of administrative leave, it is to facilitate an investigation of the incident to determine if there was any criminal wrongdoing or policy violations. The leave is also intended to ensure that the officer is physically, mentally, and emotionally ready to return to duty. The criminal investigation in this case into the shooting of investigator Mario Herrera is being conducted by the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. As I mentioned earlier, for those blood donations, please make an appointment at the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, Hero Hub, by calling 402-486-9414. And with that, I'm going to invite Sheriff Wagner to come up and provide some additional details on the ongoing investigation.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mayor, for your words. Just to provide a little bit of background, several years ago, the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office and the Lincoln Police Department, in keeping with national best practices, entered into a mutual aid agreement to develop a group of highly trained LPD officers and LSO deputies for the investigation of officer-involved shootings. Normally, the involved agency, in this case LPD, would ask the uninvolved agency, in this case LSO, to lead the officer-involved shooting investigation. The investigation would focus on determining if the lethal force used was lawful. Chief Blymeister asked me immediately after the shooting to be the lead agency on the OIS investigation. According to each other's agency's policies, the involved agency would conduct their own internal investigation that is concurrent but separate to determine if agency policies were followed. As was stated earlier and yesterday, LPD officers of the gang and investigative units, along with members of the Metro Area Fugitive Task Force, were attempting to serve an arrest warrant for Felipe Vasquez in the 3200 block of Vine Street. The warrant stemmed from a homicide that occurred in March in the 2200 block of Orchard Street and had been issued for second-degree assault. He was found to be inside the residence, and officers began negotiating with Vasquez. The negotiations continued for almost a half an hour when Vasquez and another person, Orion Ross, age 19, broke out a front window and jumped out of the residence. The evidence indicates as those two were fleeing the residence, Vasquez fired a semi-automatic pistol at LPD officers who were stationed outside the residence, striking Investigator Herrera. LPD Investigator Jennings returned fire. It appears Vasquez fired 3 rounds and Investigator Jennings fired 4 rounds. Neither Vasquez nor Ross were hit by the officer's gunfire. Vasquez and Ross ran from the scene eastbound on Vine Street. Ross was apprehended on the playground of Hartley School and was unarmed. Vasquez continued running, eventually entering a residence in the 300 block of North 34th Street. The homeowner ordered Vasquez out of the residence and alerted officers in the area to his presence. Vasquez was taken into custody without incident from the back porch of that residence. A .45 caliber pistol was located on the porch near where Vasquez was located. Vasquez and Ross both had lacerations and scratches to their hands from jumping out the broken window and jumping over fences during their escape attempt. No injuries were caused or sustained while being apprehended by law enforcement officers. Vasquez was lodged for his warrants: first-degree assault on an officer, possession of a stolen firearm, and use of a weapon to commit a felony. Orion Ross was lodged on 2 outstanding arrest warrants, one for third-degree assault and one for failure to comply, and a district court order for revocation of probation. He was also lodged for 2 counts of accessory to a Class 1 felony and aid and abet escape. Crime scene technicians processed the 3 crime scenes, that'd be the house at 33rd and Vine, the house at 300 block of North 34th Street, and the Hartley Prairie Ground, and released that scene by noon today. The .45 caliber pistol that was recovered from the porch of the house on North 34th Street, where Vasquez was apprehended, was found to have been stolen in July of this year. The bullet that struck Investigator Herrera has been recovered. Being a plainclothes investigator, he was shot. He was not wearing a ballistic vest. The investigators continue to interview officers, deputies, and witnesses as the investigation continues.